And we're back with Sketch89. And for this one, I honestly have like so many of these, no idea what to do. Sometimes I'm walking around and I think of things, fun little things to try out. And then other times I do these sketches, it's like I have no clue. So I think a random jumping off point is a great move. Always a good time to let the laws of fate determine where we're going to go today. So, we got to roll again. Let's see where we get to start. What style? Roll again, roll again. Okay, a beat. All right, I can hang with that. Instrument choices, we've got 3, so wild card. Well, I guess I'm going to go with drum synth. Let's see, collision, okay, and then okay, collision it is, which isn't such a bad choice for beats. Let's get that going on in here. Collision and drum synth. Let's get a kick in there. All right, let's see. Effects choices, we got 1 and beat repeat. Well, this is just perfectly set up for beats. And I think then, let's see, roll again. Wow, 200 plus. We're going to do some drum and bass, maybe some gabber, some happy hardcore, maybe. The key of A, folks. The key of A, which since we're doing beats, I don't think it really matters, but we can tune some things like toms and the tonal percussion instruments. So let's see, if we go down, let's see, 0, let's say middle C, we go down 1, we've got B, A sharp, -3 is essentially A. Cool. So for this, actually what I want to do is utilize our sweet new, very useful freebie. If I can find it in here. Stepper, melodic. Dead simple global transpose. I'm like staring right at it. Completely lost in my own little world here. Okay, cool. Let's make a track for, I guess, controlling the global one. And maybe I think with this Max for Life patch, it doesn't matter. You can control either one. Any instance of it you can control, and they all affect each other. So yeah, but I guess we can leave this here for now in case we want to put some automation on that one. All right, so let's get rid of all this crap. And 200 plus. All right, then we'll say 340. Yeah, just gonna 341. Let's really round it up. Yeah, don't need all those. Okay, so since we've got such a fast tempo, we are going to need to, I think, halftime things inside of here. We can try something regular time and see where we get, but it might just sound a little too crazy. I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, that is a fast beat right there. The beat is not messing around. Okay. But this would be halftime. I guess that's one thing about a really fast tempo is you can do these rolls and flams. Okay, let's take that thing off the grid just a little bit. And I think I want to record the MIDI notes from here, from this operator. Okay, we got that going on there. So I hit record there. And what I want to do is, while that's recording, move these around. So we're essentially recording the strange MIDI rhythms coming out of me messing around with the length of this thing live, which is cool that you can. All right, so now we got this crazy business. Let's move this over here. And I think we started getting crazy probably right around there. And let's set this as our starting point. Cool. Okay, so where to? Let's see, collision. Let's give this a little listen to. So cheesy. All right, let's play with a. Actually, let's play with this MIDI clip here. Definitely need some LFOs. And wow, okay, destination. How about pitch? And random, yes. And random velocity, let's get some variations going in there. As much variations as possible with such a fast beat. Okay, cool. Let's tune this to A. B. Okay, so we need to go up for that. Yes, want to automate you always. So much mileage out of one tiny little instrument by just automating as much as you can. And I like to just drag a knob and start kind of slamming it, abusing it a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. Craziness. There's like some crypto spikes going on there. Very cool. That's a lot of stuff. All right, we can copy some of that and actually move it into over here into a different parameter. And let's just squeeze this a little bit. Nice. I do like some of that heavy attack action. Kind of adds a bit of a flux sound. Yeah, let's play with this one too. So if you make a crazy automation like this, yeah, fun tip, copy and just paste it all around, but you know, as long as your lengths are different and your starting point is odd, and you can always stretch the whole thing a little bit, just to make the timing different between each thing you're automating with the same copy and pasted loop. You get a lot of mileage out of one little section of automation. Sometimes, well, things can get sounding a little too crazy, and that can be tricky to kind of remember where you've been, to know where to find something. If you want to like debug, you can always just grab a knob, and when that goes gray, you know you can see, okay, well, that crazy sound that was happening stopped, at least. You know that knob was causing it, and then at that point just dive in and, you know, tone it down or do whatever, delete it. Now let's definitely play with the tuning of this a little bit, and maybe I'm just going nuts with drawing this pitch curves. And that's the thing I love about synthetic DSP-driven percussion is you can get a lot more variations than just samples. You know, you can play with the start of the sample. Usually you're gonna a little bit of enveloping, but there's usually so much more character you can get out of DSP-based drums. But sometimes, you know, you need those samples. Like if you're doing hip hop stuff, you gotta have some sweet vinyl. All right, cool. That's crazy enough. What was going on with this collision? I really don't know. I think it was just sort of an abstract squeaky. All right, let's play with that. Let's see what happens when we copy our crazy automation in there. Yeah, a little too goofy maybe. So I think we can drag this and just pull the whole thing down, sort of crunch it down. All right, beat repeat. That was the effect I think that we got to choose. Let's pull that down just a little bit, and let's find our beat repeat. Also, I was jamming out the other day with a friend and came up with a couple of silly little racks. This one is a droning kind of one, and then there's a rain stick kind of one. So I think we can move these into our very populated folders here. Oh, we don't want audio effects. We want audio generators. And let's do textural first. And then the tonal one we can do in tonal. All right, cool. Let's get that rain stick going on. It's a real simple. Pretty simple under the hood. It's just the crackle section of the vinyl distortion as the sound source with an auto filter, and then a little bit of a grain delay, a phaser, and somehow it kind of sounds like a rain stick. I don't know how. I think this EQ really helped bring out some of that rain sticky sound. And let's get that dronal thing going in here. So not bad. I mean, having a real spastic beat with, you know, a kind of steady drone is it's not a terrible combination, in my opinion. Could we can automate some of these, try to make like little chords happening along the way. Let's actually get our length, set it at 8. And this drone device here, this rack, is real simple also. It is using, again, the vinyl distortion crackle section to make a kind of noise source. Grain delay with its pitch down, full wet. We're sort of spreading it out, smearing it out with this thing, and then through these 4 racks here, and they are just an EQ8 with a 4-pole low pass plus this peak right here working together. They're both linked up on the frequency, and it's all chained down, so you get these tones that just jump out with a couple of EQ sections pushing up, resonating up together. So really basic, and you can tune it, you know. Yeah, 440 is A, I believe. Let's just double check here, because supposedly this kick is set to A, but then I think the overdrive, all the harmonics are making it sound not like an A. Let's see. Operator's a good one to just play some keys on the keyboard and get. There's an A. And then with our global transpose, I do like this new version so much better. Oh, that's a funny anomaly. Let's see, maybe weird. I've not run into this one before. This is a strange max relive glitch. But if we, yeah, I think what at this point it looks like some kind of, I'm gonna save just in case Live decides that it wants to shit the bed on us, as it has been known to do. Okay, so various freebies, dead simple. Yeah, so this one works. I think the key for this is not to copy and paste it. So I think here the key is to play, I need to play a C, some C notes, and then we can transpose from there to A. Not sure where this is all going, but you know, just bear with me. I'm just, you know, spitballing here. And sometimes that just means, you know, doing some weird stuff that doesn't make sense in the moment. You know, worst case scenario, we just delete this whole track here and but sometimes I like to just fight with it for a little bit, and you know, I'm often surprised with enough automation how interesting things end up getting, and just gotta have a little faith, I guess. Alright, let's smooth that out. And let's see what happens when we mess with the attacks. Yes, I do like that. It's a lot more like liquidy. It's strange and fluid at that point, a little more alien. All about the alien vibes. Alright, let's... Oops, didn't mean to do that. Now we need to go back and fix this. Didn't mean to pull that start point off there. Ooh. Okay. Let's get some of these, like, let's Whoa, what's going on? Just losing my shit here. Okay, so let's repeat that. Alright, yeah. So we need to reset the note back down. Alright, cool. Definitely use some stereo, I think, on this layer. We've got an interesting thing going on with these, the drone sections are very, like, spaced out, and then we've got all these other parts that are a bit close in your face. If we run them through some reverb, I think we can add some depth to them, help them sort of mix better with the drone section and, like, sort of the rain stick texture section. Alright, I think we got enough there. Yeah, that is a lot of runway there. We do not need all that. Let's smooth that out. And I don't believe we wanted to mess with the peak at all, so let's... Alright, let's mess with... Let's check that one out. So let's try a little reverb here, and maybe that'll help things feel a little bit more cool. I like this slightly tighter reverb. I think it's the Fox Caves. I need to play with this. This will help prevent this sound from being so incessant. So I think what I want to do is keep it down a lot and then just bring it up every now and then. And now that I'm hearing myself do this, I'm kind of wanting to do the same thing to that kick drum, to maybe add a probability gate in there, or some other such way of fitting it out probabilistically. We could do a probability gate, probably the best, most generative way, or we could, for example, we could just group this and let's move this out of here. We could mute that. Whoops. Let's mute that, and then we could automate this. And leave it off most of the time, I think. Alright, let's keep that off there, turn that off there. weirdly ravey sounding in my and I'm not sure if I like it. This could just be one of those where let's just run the whole thing through an egregious amount of effects on the end here and warp it completely into oblivion. Yeah, maybe some effects here. When all else fails. Yeah, we haven't used beat repeat yet. So audio effects, there was the... Yes, we should automate that. Set this to some 13 and 2, some strange off measure. Don't want quite as much of this effect happening. We can drop it inside of a not a grain delay, wrong one. Our wet and dry template. Yeah, this way we can just have a little bit more. So now that I've had a chance to sit with this whole thing, I think this drive needs to be tamed just a bit. Maybe some sections can one, let's play with some octave shifting. Get a couple of these in a row. Let's try an octave up. And then let's do 3 octaves down and just see what that sounds like. maybe see if we have a, I want to see if we have a MIDI utility. So I know we have an audio one that's like a, the effects select. We've got one for audio, and I'm curious if maybe audio utility, effects selection container, we've got that. I don't believe I made one for MIDI. That's too bad. Well, okay, I would have put these all in there, but instead what I'm going to do is just turn these on and off kind of haphazardly. And we can just pull some of them off the grid, and then they'll all start kind of intermingling. Their loops are going to cross and fight a little, which could be a good thing or not. We will find out. All right, let's get a chord on there. Don't need this octave shifting. We have plenty of that already. Now, what other note can we add in there? Let's play with an EQ. Let's get crazy with this thing. Sweet. Let's pull this away and see what happens when we get different lengths on the automations of the cue and the frequency. Could be a disaster or the next best thing. I kind of doubt that. Alright, let's hear some drum bussing on this. Actually, let's try a little drum bus on the whole thing. This kind of, is not a bad effect for an entire group even. It's you can add just in small amounts, just a nice amount of grit. But so maybe we don't need the 1, or at least not as much drive on this one. Let's tune this down to A. B is as low as we go, okay. Definitely got some clicks coming off of this thing, but again, we can just pull these off so they don't automate. Let's see, it may just be the attack going to 0. Let's try pulling this whole thing up a little bit. Okay, maybe it's the envelope. Could be a combination of a bunch of these. Of course, the clicks are a lot more pronounced with this high-end shelf happening. So if I pull that down, maybe less noticeable. The clicks aren't so bad. They're not super bright or in your face. Let's make a preset. Going on in some of these. No, doing the perfect mix for a sketch is never my first priority, but I feel like it does kind of help along the way to at least get some things in order. Usually getting the perfect mix is something I spend a lot of time deliberating over kind of during the final stages of a track's life. I think this rave, we can get a side chain from our kick. Maybe also on the drone here. Alright, let's check out a delay effect here. Yes. Must automate. should do these one at a time. Or I can do one and copy some of the automation over to the other one and just alter it a little bit like we did earlier. That's never a bad move. Alright, let's copy that. Control C. Jump over into here and then paste it. And engage automation again. And we'll just move the start point. So rain sticky right there. Like, I'm not sure if it's for me, if I'm feeling it. Let's turn that thing off for now. Okay, drum synth. I was hearing maybe... what do I want? Let's try to get a snare going in there. Do like the Plastic Man spastic thing. Just really overdo it. Yeah. Actually, let's just duplicate. In fact, leverage some of this here velocity range randomness. Let's select everything and get... There we go. Now, this will be... that's set to none. How about let's set this... Crazy, crazy, crazy. That's double time for you. We can always... yeah, there, something like that. The snare's almost turning a bit into a hi-hat at this point, so let's pull this in. Speed it up a little bit, copy this over here. Unlink. Yeah, let's play with that. I like just bringing the decay up a little bit, but making it, it's almost like getting two instruments out of one at that point. There, now we've tuned the resonation off of this delay. For what it's worth. Maybe a little too cliche or something. Sometimes it's a good move. let's go ahead and stop all of these. Jump back to 1, hit record. Okay, so at this point we have all of that crap in there. We can just copy that automation and paste it back into here. And yeah, we got a lot of all the movements from just dragging this thing around while we were recording. And let's utilize that kind of strange, you know, we could use an LFO to maybe recreate something like this. All right, so now let's start everything. This helps break up the monotony a little bit of the delay sound kind of being a little incessant. For me, it's always good to keep an ear out for sounds that just play out a little bit too much. And those are ones I like to target as far as adding some automation or modulation to them. I should have prepared these. We can just quickly draw in some things. Go a little nuts. Cool. Let's clean that up. And then this one is. Clean that up. Cool. Let's automate between these two. Such a party. Goofy sounds happening, but you know, this is turning into a little fun party jam, I guess. I'm extra curious what this is going to sound like. Slow down. It's the breakdown, middle of the track. silly thing we could do is to get some variation on this clap, so it's not just straight 1, 2, 3. You know, we can add some shifting going on with the delay. Pretty easy effect to do on a beat. Ah, wrong thing. Whoops. I meant to mess with the volume on the drone track. That's right. It's getting late, folks. Brain is frying. Plus this tempo. My God. Let's just have that happen only every so often. Otherwise, it will get old quick. A lot of fun little glitchy type stuff happening. And we can do some cheesy stuff like autofilter. Cheesy DJ moves. Oh yeah, pull the bass up. So cliche. Oh my gosh. No, just hearing that made me cringe a little. has a talking quality to it. I'll take it. That's for the start point a little bit. Definitely don't want the wet on. We could just do this with all kinds of effects in here, just only turning on every so often. Kinda got a cheesy 80s vibe to it. Just watching Big Trouble in Little China the other day. Man, this reminds me of that. Somehow, maybe that kind of came through. It's such a quirky, odd, stylish movie. Cheesy as hell. But that's part of the charm, I guess. Let's try. I don't think this frequency shifter is. Let's try minus 0.01. Yeah, this you get some really deep flanging stuff going on. Put this kind of closer to the end of the chain. Some auto panning. Let's hit delete to return this to its default state. Let's have another one that's just slightly offset in rate. Now, what happens if we play with our tail? Let's have it tail out only so often, only so often. Effects may be a little heavy-handed, like this final distortion, which, where's the wet and dry? Jesus, you'd think that Ableton would build that into all of their effects. Only some effects have the wet and dry on them. It's beyond me who's making the decisions there. So we'll just have that one a little wet. See what happens if we get like a triplet thing. Put this before all the effects. Maybe we get some triplet type of stuff going on. get a couple of these going with different timings. Only every now and then. And let's try one. That is... nuts on the effect. Sometimes, you know, you gotta just get crazy with it. And even though it could be a little bit of a cop-out to just do a bunch of effects. I guess a lot of music is made that way, but they don't call me DJ Cop-Out for nothing. Alright, enough. So, go on, let's get serious. Nobody will take us serious if we don't act serious. Yes, because this is such a serious song. I mean, some goofy sounds in there, but, you know. Here's our A. That one's only gonna flip on very randomly, very rarely. Wow, something's going crazy over here. Now that I've heard this for a little while, there might be too much drum bus happening now. Too much drive. We can always turn that down. Dry. See, this has a wet and dry. Why don't they all? Just a little button right up in here, a little knob. You could wet and dry everything. I probably think nobody would ever need that. Who needs a wet and dry on an EQ? Well, actually, it's 2021. Everyone does. Cool, okay, well, you know, it's kind of a weird jam. Could probably use some more strange sounds popping up here and there, but for a sketch, you know, it's fun. It's got some substance, some action. It's got, you know, romance, drama, comedy, everything, all packed up into one. It's like the perfect film, but in song form. Well, let's just call it on that. It's getting late over here. And yeah, so another weird one. Mission accomplished.